Three different teens, three different hoods, three very different lives. Janelle grew up in the Heights. She had the ideal childhood raised by both of her parents, lots of friends, star of her high school dance team, The Dream. Everyone that knew Janelle knew that she was going to go on to do amazing things with her life. Everyone, that is, except for Janelle. Marcos lived with his mom and baby sister in the South Valley. His dad was out of the picture, and the three of them never seemed to have enough money to make their lives as simple as it should be. After a hit and run left his mom bedridden for weeks, Marcos was forced to grow up fast and become the head of his household. For only being 15, Marcos had more responsibilities than many men twice his age. Julian grew up in a small town about 20 miles north of the city, with nothing for kids his age to do and nowhere for them to go, other than a ran-down single-screen movie theater. He and a couple of his friends had to find more creative ways to have fun. The crew soon discovered that they could sip just enough booze from each of their parents' stashes to avoid getting caught, but still enough to get a good buzz. Julian discovered this trick when he was 12 years old, but before long, alcohol became just as boring as everything else. Three different teens, three different hoods, three very different lives. Or maybe they weren't so different after all.
All right, kids, settle down, settle down. Mikey, put your phone away. Sarah, put your jacket on. That top is way too revealing. Marcos, sit in your chair, not on top of the desk.
But the air's fresher up here.
Marcos, sit down. We have to get started on this quiz.
What quiz?
The quiz on the civil rights movement that you've known about for the past 2 weeks.
Well, I don't think it's very civil or right that you're trying to move me from the top of the desk.
Marcos!
Alright, Mr. L, chill. I repent, forget the civil rights move. You need a mint, cause your breath smells like sardines, Funyuns, and mustard. Can we just watch a cage match between MLK and General Custer? Why don't you just sit back, relax, and just give us all the answers? Then when you get fired from this job, you can be an exotic dancer.
That's it. Office. Now.
Jeez, I was just kidding. Can anybody take a joke around here?
Ready, and 5, 6, 7, 8, and right, left, step, step, turn, good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good job, guys. Bring it in. How did that feel, Janelle?
A little better. I'm still stumbling at the end.
That's all right. You still have 4 days until competition. You'll get it.
Yeah, you're right. I'll see you tomorrow, Tanya.
When I look in the mirror, it's just you and I. Back to the wall, let's do or die. Stuck with the needle, I feel no hope. Ever high is a downhill slope. Addicted to heroin, that's how I cope. I spend late nights hoping that I don't wake up. Cause every time I wake up, it's pain I take up inside. Hiding behind life, using heroin as my makeup. It breaks me from everything I have to take up. Being addicted is a bitter pill to swallow, but this path I can no longer follow. But there's just no hope, my odds are hollow. Is there anybody there? Can anybody hear my cry for help? Am I lost? Where do I go? If so, let me know. Is there anybody there? Can anybody hear my cry for help? Am I lost? Where do I go? If so, let me know.
Hey, this is the Pacheco family. Please leave your name, number, and message, and we'll get back to you. Maybe. Peace.
Hello, Miss Pacheco. This is John Lytle, Marcos's history teacher. I'm calling again about your son's disruptive behavior in class. I'm not sure if you got my message last week when I called, but I didn't hear from you, so I figured I'd call back. If you'd please return my call as soon as possible, I would appreciate it. Thank you. Bye-bye.
My teachers at school all think they know me. They turn their backs and they're through trying to show me. They're the same people that chose jail over intervention. And when they look at me, they only see one dimension. But they don't get what goes on behind my home's closed doors. And for the past 3 years, it hasn't rained, it's poured. I shouldn't have to be my little sister's father. And I take care of my mom, cause no one else will bother. So when I get to school, I'm really not my best. But a 15-year-old shouldn't have to deal with all this stress. So I clean up my mom's mess, and I cook every meal. She says she's sick, but she's really hooked on pills. So before you say you know me, know that there's a hole in my heart. Walk 'em out in my shoes, cause the soles are falling apart.
There's so many eyes on me, and the pressure keeps building. One wrong move and I'm back right where I started. There's so many eyes on me. I used to love to dance, but now I'm not quite sure where my heart is. There's so many eyes on me. I don't love it like I used to. There's so many eyes on me. It's just something I can't get used to. So I dance and I smile and I put on this mask. But deep down inside I just know I won't last. Past seems perfect, but that's all in the past. Feel it coming, I just know I'll crash fast. Cause there's so many eyes on me. I'm not a kid like I used to be. There's so many eyes on me. I'm locked in a box and I can't find the key. There's so many eyes on me. So many eyes.
It's time for me to wake up and break up this tape. Worm full of hatred that eats me alive on the inside. Lost, confined inside of my own mind. Am I alone? No, another case of howling, callous, deaf and blind. I'm staging a fit, no more negative. I'm sick and tired of being a slave to heroin. Enough is enough. I've had too much of my hateful ways. I'm stuck, but it's time to get more than just a discussion. So cut the fussing. I'm confused, but still doing it. No more needles, I'm losing it. Bit by bit, positive. I'm choosing it. I'm done, no more abusing it. Is there anybody there? Can anybody hear my proper help? Am I lost? Where do I go? If so, let me know. Is there anybody there? Can anybody hear my proper help? Am I lost? Where do I go? If so, let me know. No.
I can't believe the competition is tomorrow. I wish I could just stop thinking about all of this for a while. The pressure is unbearable. I have these pills that Tanya gave me. She said they mellow me out a little. Maybe I'll just take one and see.
The stress is slowly fading, and I'm light as a feather. I'm practically floating, and there's no more stormy weather. The stress is slowly fading from these little pills I'm holding. Not a care in the world, just doesn't matter where I'm going. Maybe I'll just have one more. I've got nothing else to do besides what heart could come from one little pill or two. There's no more eyes on me. There's no more eyes on me.
Julian continued to struggle with heroin. 2 days after his 17th birthday, Julian was arrested for armed robbery, where he was trying to get some quick cash for his heroin fix. The judge sentenced Julian to 6 months in the juvenile detention center, as well as mandatory drug rehab. This was a wake-up call for Julian, and he stayed clean for a few months before he was back at his old ways. Julian is now 20 years old and continues to struggle with heroin addiction and has been in and out of rehab for the past 3 years. Marcos's home life and responsibilities continue to affect his schoolwork. He failed the 8th grade twice, and he had trouble finding any adults at the school who didn't think he was just lazy and useless. No one really took the time to work with Marcos and figure out what was wrong until his mother overdosed on heroin. Suddenly everyone felt that now was the time to help the young teen. Marcos is now headed on the right track and will graduate from high school next semester. He remains very affected by what he had to grow up with, but because of it, he has vowed to never get involved with drugs himself, and he shares his story with other teens around the city. Janelle hid her drug abuse from those around her for months. She began losing interest in dancing and almost everything else she had been so passionate about in the past. Her grades began falling, and she always seemed to have a new excuse for her parents as to why she was home so late. Her mom naively convinced herself that Janelle was just at that age, but deep down, she knew that there was more going on. Janelle's dance instructor couldn't find Janelle anywhere the night of her big competition. When she was unable to reach Janelle on her cell phone after multiple attempts, the instructor called the house and alarmed Janelle's mom of her no-show. Her mom busted into Janelle's room only to find her unconscious body on the floor next to the bed. Her mother called 911 right away, but it was too late. Janelle was pronounced dead on the scene. 3 different teens, 3 similar stories, 3 different outcomes. Like many others their age, heroin grasped these young people tightly and refused to let go, and because of it, their lives and the lives of those that care about them will never be the same again.